Hey there YouTube, welcome back to another black powder update. I have finished my next unit this morning. It probably took me about probably 8 days, possibly 9. I got slowed down a lot by my cat. She came and got a lot of attention, so she was coming to sit on my lap and stuff in the middle of painting sessions, and I'm one of those painters that has to be very close to the table, and at times, I'm really crunched up to the table with the model held right up close to me to do fine details and stuff. And not that I particularly need to. I mean, I'm short-sighted, not long-sighted, but it's just I guess it's just strange, the strange way that I paint. But that definitely caused me probably like 20 or 30 or maybe even 40 minutes within a whole painting session of like little distractions where I've had to stop and keep washing my brush out and trying to get my cat into a comfortable enough position. And you could just say, well, why don't you just lift her off your lap? But she's like straight back. She's like a leech. Once she wants your lap, there's no escaping. And just funnily enough, the sun's come out and she's just basically sat there. Luckily I've finished painting, because that's basically where my painting palette would normally be there. So I had to kind of move it out of the way. But yes, so without further ado, me waffling on, we'll get down to the table and I'll show you what I've spent the last 8 or 9 days painting. Catch you in a second. Okay, welcome back to the workbench, and as you can see, I actually have my new and my previous light Dragoons regiments here on display. Like I say, the actual division itself is made up of 3 regiments of light Dragoons, so I basically only have one more to do. And I've already kind of sourced the miniatures for those. I'm basically going to go for parries again, but this time, rather than the standing pose that these guys are in, the alternate charging pose, and that'll give me 3 different positioned units, because these are the Perry's plastics. So just to remind you of what regiment this particular, my older unit was. I think it's the 11th. Let's just have a look. Yeah, so this is the 11th Light Dragoons, led by Lieutenant Colonel J.W. Slay. And my new unit, let's give you the info on these boys. If I just come down there a little bit. So these are the 16th Regiment, or the Queen's Own Light Dragoons, and they're commanded by Lieutenant Colonel J. Hay. And of course the 4th British Cavalry Brigade, in fact, not division. So let's show you these guys in a closer detail. So these boys are, as I said, Perry's metals, and I decided to get them in standing pose, which I think's a really cool pose to have them in. They're actually my second standing posed cavalry, because I've got one unit of in my household cavalry division 2. I believe it's the second lifeguards. I'll give you a closer look at these boys. These guys have got the red facings, and oh, I've got my cat on my lap here trying to hold on. Bobo, jump up, here you go. Jump up there, just for a few seconds. There you go. Yeah, my cat's in one of those wanting to sit on my lap days today. Actually, she has been all week actually. So yeah, let's try and give you a closer look at these boys. The light here is really quite poor today. It's very cloudy and overcast here today in Southampton, and I'll try my best to try and give you a good look at these guys. They're really nice figures. I did enjoy painting them. They, once again, they're very fiddly to paint. I think I probably took way longer to paint the guys than I actually did the horses. The horses I knocked out really quite quickly. I had them like probably 90% done within the first 2 days, and a little bit later on I just finished them up by doing their reins and their the silvery bits on their saddle, on their reins and stuff, and of course their markings. I always do those 3 things last. Yeah, I was really happy with how they turned out. I had to make a few sort of colour choices because once again, on that French website, sometimes it's a little bit difficult to tell if something's white, buff, or gold, and also if something's white or silver. So sometimes you have to kind of make little distinctive choices of what you think will work best. Now on the artwork, this kind of lacing around their shakos, it kind of looked gold, but at the same time I didn't really want to paint it gold, so what I ended up choosing for in the end was buff, and it kind of worked out really well actually. It's kind of, it does make a nice sort of, I mean, I wouldn't say, you know, it's certainly not a professional non-metallic job, but I'd certainly say for a basic fill-in that looks really, really nice on the figure when it's done. Buff is a really nice colour to especially on what I thought on smaller things, like obviously like bits of ribbon and stuff like that. It works quite well, I think. So that is the first 2, and I also mixed up the horses a little bit. So we've got all bays, but we have a mixture of light and dark bays this time round. For a little bit of difference. So you can see a little mixture of light and dark bays going throughout the unit. So that's the first unit, or the first, would it be squadron, I suppose. Next up we have the pseudonym command squad. I always have them so that they can be split into 3s. Here we have the sergeant. On his horse here has the pseudonym commander, and just a normal trooper next to him. Obviously the troops are all, there's actually like 3 copies of each pose, because they actually do like 2 packs. So you basically have command and you have 1 pack of troopers at rest. So you kind of, you know, you've got no choice but to get like 3 packs of the same, but it doesn't really matter, to tell the truth. I think overall, for all their fiddliness, I think they turned out really nice in the end. And I think you could say this is like maybe the first unit of cavalry where I've actually had absolutely no quims or thoughts about, oh no, another cavalry unit, because I think I've actually done like, I've done like 6 cavalry units in the last 3 months, and I think when you, maybe even 7 actually, and I think it's got to the point now where I actually don't mind doing cavalry now. And I think, like I say, I think I have more trouble doing the cavalry men than I do actually doing the horses now, which is really bizarre. So that could be the secret, guys. If you hate painting cavalry, just force yourself to do 4 or 5 regiments of them, and then you'll soon be liking them. Although I'm sure there's a clause with hussars, because I don't think no matter how much you love cavalry, you'll actually love doing hussars. I mean, I've certainly, with my experience with them, I really wouldn't do it by choice. Another unit of them, although I've got to admit I am kind of tempted to do some French hussars, but certainly not yet anyway. So here we have another just a normal unit of 2 guys for the rear. Would it be, well, if you're looking from the front, the rear right. So here we go into the front rank now. Another 2 guys. The subtle work on these guys wasn't too bad. It was a little bit more more painful than the sort of even the lifeguards, I suppose you could say. But it wasn't too bad. I've certainly had worse. I think French cavalry's sort of saddles setups are a lot more of a pain to do than British ones. British tend to only have sort of like maybe 1 or 2 colours, and sometimes have some coloured striping, but at least it's not those sort of snaggletooth design pieces that I always find really annoying to paint. So that is the forward. That's actually the forward left side. Then we'll. Oh no, that's not. That's not. That's actually. That's the right. That's right. It's the forward left right side. Here's the left side. Again, just two. It's really dark here. I do apologise for the light here. It's really quite nasty today. I mean, when you look out the window, you think, oh, that's not too bad. You know, I'm sure that'll do. But when you actually try and film something, it's really quite dark. Trying to. I wonder if I use a piece of white paper that'll help. Not really. But we shall persevere. We shall persevere. I will do it when I complete the regiment. I'll do another review of these guys, and you can see them again if they're not coming out too hot on camera this time. But obviously you can watch this in 1080p. So if it's a little bit dark, try upping your screen resolution, and you might be able to get a better shot. Because that's something I always find. It's like a lot of times YouTube videos are default to like 480, and sometimes if you've got sometimes if it's like quite dark or something like that, if you up the resolution, then sometimes it might help if you're really that desperate to get a really close in look, which I'm sure most of you probably aren't. So here we have the command stand. I do really like the officer for these guys. I'm always picky about my officers, and it's really nice officer figure by the Perrys. And the bugler, of course. Nice to have a bugler not trying to blow his trumpet in the ear of the guy next to him for a change. And also for the bugler this time, I actually decided to go for, instead of my normal sort of white grey horse, I decided to go for try out some stippling, which I used a little bit of sponge to do. So I mean, that wasn't really supposed to be like proper stippling, but more a sort of a pattern on the horse's flanks, which I think came out quite cool in the end. Actually, it makes for a different coloured horse. Although then again, looking at my other light dragoons bugler, he's actually got an all grey horse, so obviously the lighter grey horses are a thing of more modern times, because I did paint these guys a fair while ago now. But again, you can certainly see the quality of my painting improving since I did my first unit, although they're not too bad. I certainly wouldn't go repaint them or anything. But yeah, so that is the end. Just centre them up and give you a little shot of the two units together. So that is the end of this particular video. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to be going for next. I have got some pickups which I might do a little video for next. I mean, they're nothing super special. They're just a few things that I picked up over Black Friday, and one thing that I picked up just before Black Friday, about a week before actually. Yeah, so I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to be doing next. Theoretically, I mean, I have got my my last unit of lifeguards. They are over my sister's at the moment, because I actually ordered them at the same time as she was ordering my Christmas present. But hopefully I should be going over to hers for dinner this Sunday, so I should be able to pick them up and bring them back with me. obviously I've also got my my 36-man front rank battalion, which I could do, but I'm also kind of tempted to perhaps do a 24-man, and then I'll just like replace the figures to make it back to a 36. And then obviously I have actually got 2 British guns, which is another idea I might do. And other than that, I've got like various command figures and stuff. So I'll pick something. I always tend to take a few days in between finishing a battalion to decide what I'm going to do next. So that's the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and big thank you to a couple of new subscribers I've got. You know, like I say, the main reason I do this video, I sort of started this channel in the first place was just to document my miniatures. Although I suppose you could say when I first started it, I actually was planning to put some stop animation on there. And if you go right the way back to my early videos, you'll find a version of one of the silly stop motion videos that me and my friend did. Although that is not actually a finished edit. I think that's like the edit that was done just before the final work was done on it. And strangely enough, I have actually mentioned it before, but my friend who I was doing it with, he was doing all the editing and stuff, and he basically finished up the final project but forgot to actually send me a copy, and then he decided to delete his channel a few months later, forgetting to actually send me a copy of the original film. Therefore it's lost forever, which is a little bit of a shame, because I actually thought it was quite a funny little stop motion video. Anyway, gone off on a tangent. Thanks to everyone for continued support. If you're new and you like the look of the channel, please feel free to subscribe, and I'll catch you all next time. Bye bye.